Hello and welcome to another episode 11 it is, of the Modern Day Morons podcast, with your host, Liam.
Braden.
And Jacob.
On today's
Wow.
episode, we have crazy topics to cover, but as always, first, a word from our sponsor.
Please pray
I
tell
lost
Liam.
the name. One second, I lost the name. Oh, Almula Banquet Hall in Hialeah, Florida.
Great place. Been in that area before.
Don't you guys love shooting pool at the billiard hall? You know,
Of course.
nothing like sticking balls with the boys into them deep
Putting-
pockets.
Balls in holes. That with the boys. That's what a night at Dooley's is all
Holding our
about.
hard wooden sticks and poking each other's balls. It's a fantastic evening away with the boys.
Truly the game of the people.
Absolutely. Liam, do tell. Why did they sponsor us today exactly?
Oh, no reason. They just attendance has been a little low due to something that happened last night, but we're here to rebrand their image, you know, and we won't talk about what happened last night because it doesn't need to be talked about.
Or form. We're here to build brands, not break them down. You know.
Absolutely, yeah.
On to our next story.
Last night?
Actually, well, it technically happened today at 6:48 in the morning, but mass shooting outside Billiards Club in Miami leaves 22 injured and 2 dead. Police are looking for assailants who opened fire at a Florida club, killing at least 2 people and wounding at least 20 more. These are cold-blooded murderers that shot indiscriminately into a crowd, and we will seek justice. Yeah, so...
I think I actually did read about this one this morning, and unfortunate. But hey, the pandemic gave those Americans a couple years or a year or so of not mass shootings, and I guess folks are just catching up on.
I don't think the mass shootings went down. I think the news coverage changed.
Yeah, that probably also helps. Well, that was as Hayden said. That was that fucking dark. Fucking dark.
Yeah,
It happens.
pretty dark. But we have 3 main topics to go over today.
Oh, we're jumping right out of that, huh? Okay.
Well, if you guys want to stay in the darkness, I'm trying to lead you
I
to
don't
the light.
want to. I'm just it was a whiplash from that transition.
Fine, let's read what
No,
one of the families had to say. Okay.
Let's not.
So our 3 topics today all are double C alliterations. So we got the cocaine convict, we got the camping chaos, and we got the casting career.
Okay. I know one of these. I'm wondering if I know one of the other ones though.
Well, I think Jake definitely knows one of them.
Jacob, take a
Before
trip
we
to a
get in-
casting coach that we didn't know about.
You don't want to hear about that one.
Uh-oh.
Before we get into that, did you guys hear about the human remains found? Like a lot of human remains found under a school in BC, I believe it was.
So we're staying in the
The
darkness. Yes,
the
sir.
Kamloops
A residential school.
residential school. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
What
fucked
the
up.
fuck's up with that, BC?
I was
Canadian genocide. 215 kids. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll.
You gotta love that indigenous genocide. Not really, for real though. It's absolutely fucked up. Horrible part of our history that a lot of people, for some reason, just refuse to believe in. So not on the bright side. There's no real bright side to 215 dead indigenous kids. But
Yeah, not too
hopefully
much
this brings to
true
light-
patriot love there.
Yeah, my God. Hopefully this does bring to light to people that this is like a real fucking thing, and it happened. And
Yeah.
it kind of still happens to this day. And read up on Starlight Tours. While we're in this dark period, read up on Starlight Tours. Canada has a horrible history of indigenous genocide. So, on from that unfun story.
Canada's like kind of like the Ned Flanders neighbor, where it's like you think it's all good, but there's actually like a bunch of bodies in the basement. I guess actually literally.
Like if Dudley Do Right, yeah, was a serial killer.
Yeah.
There was an estimation that 4,000 kids died from the residential schools. Yeah, awful. awful. And there are still people in Canada who are like, "Oh, they did good for the Indigenous kids." They did not.
No, we do not.
Patently false.
We do not support assimilation at the Modern Day Morons podcast.
Oh.
So, anyways, camping disasters, eh?
Camping chaos started. Yeah, stick with the alliteration.
Crispy
CDs.
camping chaos.
I wish you were shooting pool last night in Hialeah, Florida.
That's fucked up.
Oh my god.
Well, then get the alliteration right. Anyway, yeah. Well, actually, do we want to start off with the casting career, Jacob? I think you got some news for the podcast.
Beg your pardon?
Jacob, I believe in your logical brain that you can think of the life change that has recently started for you and the casting career.
Oh, I see what you're calling
I had to make
casting.
Yeah, I had to make the
Broadcast.
C fit.
Okay, I see. Yeah. So I just started full-time streaming as of yesterday, I suppose it was, which is crazy to me because, I mean, well, not we all, a lot of us started streaming about 6 months ago, and it seems crazy to me that from early, I guess it was probably about mid-December when I started, that now, I mean, I'm full-time streaming, not because I can support living by full-time streaming, but more so that the opportunity kind of, well, it came and it slapped me right across the face. And I mean, opportunities like this in my mind don't, it's not every day that you would find yourself in this situation where you can. So, we're going to go for it.
Right on. Dude, I'm excited to see what the summer brings. Sorry I'm laughing, it's just, I did some Kappas to hype up your announcement, and if you read the chat log, it does an estimated 4,000 died from residential stress. And then I put forward...
You're making me laugh. I didn't want to laugh.
It's just so terrible. I'm sorry, Bandit. Oh my god. Oh god. I didn't even put that together. I'm like, I need a hype emote for Jade, and I'm like, ooh, Kappa worked. Because I don't have many emotes here, because it's on the MTF.
At least we've crossed that bridge now, so someone in chat doesn't have to go throwing out like some 2-tap 2 pogs or something right after that message.
I suppose it's best that Liam did.
Oh, at least it tracks Liam's character there.
Oh god. Hey,
Fuck
it's our
Christ.
it's our character.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
But congratulations, Jacob.
I kind of had to take the opportunity. God knows where it'll take me, but we'll get there one way or another. I'm excited. I know I'm gonna have a great summer either way. So it's like, see what happens.
Yeah, no, got that beast of a PC now, full-time streaming.
Crazy shit.
Plus, it makes more time too.
370.
It makes more sense to full-time stream now with like a solid base of followers and like a good community, as opposed to like doing it at like 40 or 80 followers or something.
Yeah, if I would have come out of the gate full-time streaming, that would be a bit foolish. But at least now, I know there are some lovely people who will hang out with me regardless, and there's gonna be a lot of good times. And I'm not at all worried about what's going to happen. Like, I have no clue how it'll go if I go up and to the moon, baby, like Dogecoin, or crash and burn like Dogecoin. Who knows?
Buy the dip.
I'm not worried about it. I think it's gonna be a great time, and I'm super excited. It's very, very wholesome feeling.
Well, that's good to hear. I imagine everyone currently watching is following your boy Jake, but if you aren't, we got panels underneath the podcast to the 3 of our various Twitch channels, so feel free to check them out.
We don't have shout-out commands.
Yeah,
so that's weird.
Yeah,
well,
fucking...
we have them there. I was gonna put it in chat anyway, but oops.
We're also looking for a new podcast host. If anyone wants to take Canadian
Name
Braden's
has
spot.
to be Braden, as we've discussed prior. But
Taking application.
Taking applications. If you legally change your name to Braden, you get to be on the podcast. But yeah, great to hear.
Wait, hold on. I got more exciting news actually.
let's go.
So this one is actually like not super exciting, but for the last like 2 months, Twitter has thought that my Twitter account was a bot, and they locked me out of my account. They said no, two-tap troop. They cannot do. You cannot exist. You can't use Twitter anymore. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, whatever. So I was like, all right, fuck Twitter. Who cares? But I logged on today, and they finally are letting me use Twitter again. So I got my Twitter back.
Oh my
Right on
god!
time.
Oh, the announcement tweet, hype as hell. That's
Dude,
dope.
I was like, perfect. I started full-time streaming, and they finally acknowledged me. Twitter allows me to live.
This is your
incredible.
time to start tweeting like a maniac, Jacob, and blow up on Twitter.
Well, I figured like I have more time now to focus on
Media management and branding. And
on
everything.
my
Growth, yeah.
brand, if you will. So it makes sense to have the platforms to do it. I'm gonna like YouTube, Twitter, I guess. Not TikTok. I can't be asked. TikTok videos are.
Have you guys
they
seen
make my
that
brain
one
hurt.
TikTok guy who's a Nova Scotian streamer, and all his videos are just like, "Are you from Nova Scotia?" And he's like, "Yes, I am." And motherfucker's got like 2.5 million likes, and he's just a Nova Scotia Twitch streamer. So
I don't really use
that'd be a good
TikTok
guy to
at all.
network with.
I might
Wow,
just
I'm
use-
from Nova Scotia. Give me a kiss.
I'm from Nova Scotia. Give shout out.
How much for a shout out? I have 5 fish. I don't know his name, Tristan, because I don't like follow him or anything. But I just
It's
his
not the guy
videos
who
appear
ran
on my
for mayor,
feed.
right?
No. I
No,
kind of
that's
want to
the
run
guy.
for mayor, but I feel like that's expensive. But if I did a meme clout campaign, that'd be a great fucking TV show. Just double mayor.
Anyways,
We
long
can write
story
it into
short,
our skit show, Liam. That we
Twitter's
have an
kinda lame.
episode written of.
Twitter's kind of lame. I'm gonna be honest. I don't use Twitter, but
Yeah.
I'm going to again. I mainly have a problem with Twitter just because they're like, I think you're a bot account, and I'm like, hey Twitter, I'm not a bot account. They're like, okay, fine, prove it. Change your password. So I changed my password. And they're like, nope, you're a bot. It's like, bro.
Yeah. Twitter is
I
for all
thought-
the angry people.
I thought we had checks in like pictures of roadways.
I
to
hate
figure this
hate
out.
captures so much, bro. I hate
the
they
worst thing in
upgraded the captcha now, where it's not good enough if you click the photos, it just replaces them with new photos, and then they'll be like find the picture of a crosswalk, and they'll be like kind of 3 pixels of a crosswalk in the bottom left, and it's like, does that count or not? And it's like, oh, capture failed. Why can't it just be the letter ones? The letter ones always were nice and easy. It might
Robots
be
got too
spaghetti,
good at those, I guess.
but yeah. Shout out. Nice to see big teens this summer.
It's very exciting, man. Like I said before, you're the reason I've even like taken an interest in Twitch at all, pretty much. Because I told you before I was not into it very much. It wasn't really my thing. There was like a couple streamers I followed and like checked out occasionally. Stopped in for like one of your streams on the early 7 days that I binge that you had going on, and
they said I was pog.
that was Pog. But I've been on the stream and shit ever since. Started doing it recently myself, and fucking huge shout out to you, Jacob, because if it weren't for you, I probably wouldn't be wasting all my time watching.
This
Twitch
time
streams.
next year, we'll have a Twitch streaming studio and also a podcast
boy.
studio. And we'll all
Again,
just be
we've
full-time
established
streamers.
in the lore of this podcast that we are all in the same room right now.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
This,
our studio.
This is a studio.
My one section of the studio is gonna get revamped soon. As you can see, my bed is currently on the background there, but soon when the renovation streams start, this is not going to be the bedroom and stream room, just the stream room. Gonna pimp out this wall. It's gonna look great. I'm super excited.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see it. I hope. Are you gonna get some LED lights up in there, Jake?
I'm just waiting for the right time.
You should
Oh, yeah.
you should get some of those
Exactly.
fucking wall panel lights. Those things are fucking sick.
They are very
They're
cool.
so goddamn expensive though.
Oh,
Like
like
sits-
the hexagon ones.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like it's like 5
It's got
pieces
one
for like
or two.
$200 or $300. Those shits are so expensive.
You
They're
can buy
hype,
them
though.
at like Home Depot, I think, but like even still, it's like $250. There's like triangle ones that are even smaller. You can get like more, like 20 for like $200, but they're like
yeah.
they're like Dorito chip size, I think.
Yeah.
But like, they look cool and shit. But like, what the fuck am I gonna do with them? Like, is that going to get me? Is that going to get somebody to click on my stream? You know what I mean? It's just some lights.
I mean, it adds to the aesthetic.
I mean, yeah, it's the same
But
reason
it's
I
just
ended
the
up buying
webcam in the
an
corner.
LED light, but yeah, like I don't know. I just feel like
But
it's
I
kind
mean,
of a waste.
LED
Like,
lights is one thing, but $250
lights,
LED lights
Yeah.
is another.
The thing is, they don't even light up the room enough to be considered like your bounce light or anything. They just kind of light up that area a little bit so it's visible on camera. That's why they're always behind people.
Yeah.
They don't do a whole lot for actual lighting, which is a pain.
But yeah, no, solid. Which topic would you guys like to move on to next? Coked up Convict or Camping Chaos?
I know where Camping Chaos is going, so I'd rather save that to the tail end if you don't mind taking us to the Cocaine Convict though. I'm intrigued.
Okay. So as some of you may or may not know,
I would like to hear this.
I worked full time at a gas station called Circle K, 1207 Toll Harbor Road. Come and say hi, or call in a bob thread. Make my night a lot easier.
Boxing for yourself.
And so one nice thing, and also kind of shitty, because I never get robbed, and I really wanted to get robbed, because no one's been robbed there in at least 7 years, like since anyone who's worked there started working there. So I wanted to get robbed, so that way, as I get robbed, I can like smile at the security camera, and then I'll get them to print off that photo, and I'll frame it with a little plaque that says my first robbery and the date and time. And I'll have 2 of those. I'll hang up in the back of the store, and then one for my own personal use. I think that'd be hilarious. But the reason we don't usually get robbed is because the police station is
literally right next door.
Is pretty close. Like it's like across the street and past one building, and you got the entire RCMP brigade right there, and all the police also buy their gas from me. So like, it's safe, unfortunately, but being so close to a police facility, sometimes people who recently exit the police facility decide to wait at my gas station. And so this guy comes in, and he, instead of ringing the doorbell, he like knocks on the door like pretty hard, and I'm like, nice, this should be interesting. He comes in, he's like, hey bro, and he's like, I can tell he's a little coked up, and but because I deal with coked up people during that. They do coke in the bathroom sometimes. It's fun times at Ridgemont High, but he comes in, and then I go, hey, what's up? And he's like, oh, not much, man, just got out of the police station. Yeah, they busted me and this girl for all these drugs. And I'm like, that adds up. And then I'm like, he's like, yeah, she's still in there. I need a ride. I'm from Cape Breton, eh? And I'm like, okay, this is making even more sense. And they're like, yeah, they found her with like fentanyl and like Molly, and there was one other drug. I don't think it was coke, but it was a harder drug. And he's like, yeah, and I just had some edibles in my pocket, and they gave them back to me, so I just popped those right away. So he'd been like interrogated, I guess, for like a few hours, and he's like, yeah, I'm just waiting for my drive, bro. And I'm like, okay. And then so we're talking, and and then the entire time he's like picking up things that could be used as weapons and holding them very like like he picked up a walking stick and like was holding it like a bat. I'm like, and then like the mushroom like roasters, he like took the safety tops on and like extended them and did a couple jabs, and I'm like, and now I have a hammer under the counter, so I was ready to fucking hammer a motherfucker.
Your means of defense is a hammer.
Yeah,
under the counter.
Guns aren't legal, so I just have a hammer.
Fair enough.
And I also have a squeegee handle. So it's like,
put the hammer on the
like
squeegee
a long
handle.
ass metal. Yeah, this guy's got a long ass metal pronged stabby stick, and you've got a 1 foot tall hammer.
I have a hammer.
This guy could have whooped your ass from downtown.
And how tall is this guy, Liam? Does he have reach on you? Assuming
he's not that much taller than me, but he's got a few inches, probably like.
So he's got long pointy stick.
But
plus reach.
I also have a wooden squeegee handle, so my method is like block, attack, hammer in the right hand, squeegee handle, so I can kind of like fring, and then right, just a nice crunch on his head or in his dick. I'm sure a hard hammer in the dick would incapacitate him long enough. But so I'm just thinking that, and then he's like, "Hey, you smoked weed, brother?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, I got that good quad A shit, $3 a gram. You want some? And I'm like, motherfucker just came from like fentanyl land. And I'm like, I'm good. He's like, $3 a gram. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. And
I also like that he's just gotten out of the police station and he's immediately back to trying to sell drugs to the first person.
literally,
He's
like,
on the ground.
Lightning doesn't strike the same place twice, bro.
no.
Apparently not.
And then he's like, yeah, I'm just waiting for my drive. And then he's like, do you know how far, I want to say it was like Middle Sackville or Lower Sack. It was a place that was a 30 to 40 minute drive away. And I'm like,
Yeah, it'd probably be Lower Sackville at that point. Yeah.
I can check for you. And then I like checked. Oh, it was, or maybe it was Mount something. Because I was like, wondering if it was near Mount Edwards. It was like Mount Uniacke. Maybe that's how.
Okay.
Anyway,
yeah.
but I just checked. I'm like, it's half an hour away. He said, okay, cool. I'm just gonna chill here. And then he like was talking to me, and then like a police officer comes in, and he just goes to the back corner of the store and just stands there ominously. And he's like, what's that guy doing? I'm like, he's just chilling. He's like, he's your friend? I'm like, no. The guy's like, I actually just came from your guys' building. And then the police officer's like, oh yeah, I heard about that. That girl had a lot of drugs on her. He's like, yeah, man, these bitches. And the police officer's like, well, all right, have a great night, and just fucking vamooses out of there.
Dude, you should have like kept blinking at the police officer. Like,
Morse code eyes.
Well, yeah, honestly. And then
send help. Slide him a fucking receipt with send help on it.
or like he has a gun just like on the back because he has to sign a receipt. So I could have just given him his second receipt back. Just he has a gun. And just seeing how that filmed that for a TikTok, instant viral. But yeah, no, he just kept picking up random things, making really weird conversation, and then eventually he decided to wait outside. I gave him a free coffee because I'm a bro, and that's the last I saw of him. So unfortunately, an anticlimactic ending. I didn't get poked. I didn't get to hammer, but
I didn't get to hammer.
it was an interesting experience, nonetheless, and I hope to have more of them because life is just a collection of experiences, and then you die and forget them all.
I mean, as experiences go, pretty solid. You're
That's
gonna
one
get a
way
lot
to
of
think
crazy
about
shit from the gas station. Also, yeah.
But yeah, I was ready to hammer a motherfucker. I'm always ready to hammer a mother. It's dangerous. I'm like, sometimes they like are a little mean to me, and I just like
Hands under the table, ready to
Bro,
go.
it'd be so quick as they're like signing a receipt or like taking a receipt to just be like whack-a-mole their fucking hand and just 4 fingers shattered.
Why? Why would you do this to just an asshole? I guess they're an asshole, but like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, you'll think twice next time you don't say thank you. But yeah, another adventure in Night Shift Land.
Well, yeah,
I'm
that's
surprised.
I still want to get robbed.
I mean,
though.
like, I was thinking about it while you were telling your story. Like, I'm kind of surprised that your place hasn't been robbed, but then I think about, like, there is literally a police station within walking distance.
Yeah.
Like, can you see it from where you work, the police station?
Yeah, well, I can see like the sign. It's blocked by like a building, but it's literally like our building, and then it's Perrin Drive, and then it's like the new haircut place where AAA used to be. Fabricville's on the other side, so we're even closer. But it's just like that one apartment building, literally in between us and the police station. So it's like a 2-minute walk tops.
So it would have to be a super amateur criminal or the most brazen hardcore criminal.
It'd have to be fast enough for me to not hit the silent alarm. But also, too, if he's got a gun, I don't know if I want to hit the silent alarm, because then it's the police show up and then I just get capped.
Is your life worth giving up over a gas station?
No, like all the training they fucking gave us was don't be a hero, and I'm like, for $12.50 an hour, you're not paying me to be a hero. I'll help him rob the place. Just be like, fuck, we can both make some money here. You want the drug to the safe? For legal reasons, that's a joke.
At Toys R Us, that's pretty much exactly what they taught us too. They're just like, yeah, well, somebody comes through, just give them all the money in the register. If they ask for more, go to the next register. Just keep giving money away until they leave the store without hurting anyone.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of how the training goes. That's basic training. Don't die, because that will cost us a lot more money than if you just give it away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all cokeheads. Like when I was working day shift, Julian from the Trailer Park Boys showed up in this fucking beauty of a car. Bought like $60 worth of gas and 4 massive beds of hickory sticks. And I didn't say anything. I was just like, nice car. And he's like, thanks. And then
Ricky used to... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and then he left.
Oh, okay, yeah. Speaking of Toys R Us again, Ricky used to come into Toys R Us like once a month usually, like of Trailer Park Boys fame. Just shopping for his daughter, I would assume, because he came in with a young girl once, so I'd hope it was his daughter. But either way,
Bubbles, I need your help to do some sex trafficking.
Oh, you mean Irby?
Jesus, fuck Ricky. She's only 9 years old. That was a terrible Bubbles impression.
That was a bad one. I've heard some bad ones in my day. Not that mine was much better either. Yeah, shit. Shout out to Trailer Park Boys, I guess. I hear Bubbles himself is actually kind of a prick in real life, though.
I just put my vape in between my toes and it pressed the button and started burning the coil.
Nice. Why did you put your vape between your toes?
I was just like fidgeting with it, and then like I just like
held it with my toes.
Do you have a leg
up on your lap right now?
Oh yeah, I'm like, I'll see if I can. Like I was like fidgeting with the cam, and then I like put it in between my toes like this. I wonder if I'm flexible enough.
I don't think you're allowed to show feet on cam.
I know.
Well, I'm just gonna clip that for a second. There we go. That's
oh my god.
This is how the podcast ends fucking bang. No bare feet.
You aren't supposed to know. LOL. No bare feet. Liam, save it for the OnlyFans. Jesus Christ.
Did somebody say OnlyFans?
Oh wow, the king of vape tricks. I'm gonna do a vape hit on my feet.
Guys, watch! I'll press the button
Only
with
feet.
my toes and suck it.
Only feet.
I can't believe you put the thing that you put in your mouth like multiple times a day in between your fucking toes.
Okay, but I don't put the body of it in my mouth. I didn't. This part didn't touch my toes.
I don't know. Toes are not a safe zone. That was something.
Man. I'm still flabbergasted. Really, I am.
I'm pretty shocked at that move.
Yeah.
That was intense.
The vape is a liability. I dropped my vape in my Mountain Dew on the 36-hour stream, but it still worked, so.
That's the most gamer sentence I've ever heard.
Well, why, thank you.
They are in no zone. Veet faith. There are no zone as far as Twitch is concerned. Unfortunate.
Dude, if this podcast gets taken down due to my Hobbit feet.
But you're allowed to have a hot tub stream.
Yeah, you just can't. You can't show you walking into the hot tub though.
You're in a bikini, almost, quite naked. But as long as your bare feet don't show up, you're fine.
Gotta wear those Crocs.
Noted.
I'm Croc hard.
I was gonna say what a weird rule and how would feet even end up on Twitch in the first place, but after seeing what I just saw, fucking where there's a will, there's a way, I guess.
Dude, it's weird that there's a whole category of Twitch that's just like diet chatterbait, or like a diet cam site.
And yeah, Twitch is like, no, this isn't a sexual content website, but we have a whole hot tub section just in case you wanted to get all of your needs met in one small category.
Witty feet is a big thing. Are you kidding? Panic? Is that actually a thing?
Yeah.
IRL
IRL streaming like years ago used to be super taboo on Twitch, and like you weren't considered a real streamer, and then Twitch is like, oh wait, we'd have 50% either way. Fucking welcome aboard.
No problem with IRL streaming.
That's how you please Twitch.
Fuck.
Just give them money.
What a thing. It's also weird though too, because the whole hot tub section is mostly populated by people who are trying to promote their OnlyFans. Hey, and no hate, get your money. But it's like Twitch can't be pussyfooting around that, being like, it's not a sex thing.
Let me just
yeah. How do they justify it? They're like, well, they're not doing anything wrong. They're just
90% of titted showing.
Yeah.
in a hot tub, making suggestive comments to their viewers. Yeah. Nothing weird about that.
You can do like body painting and stuff too, but let me just read the description of Witty Feet. Witty Feet is a photo sharing foot fetish website dedicated to sharing photos of celebrities' feet. It is described as the most extensive online message board and photo gallery of women's feet on the internet. It was launched in 2008. Happy 13-year anniversary.
Now look. I get it. Okay, I try not to kink shame, and there are much worse kinks than feet. But what the fuck? What the fuck, guys? Come on. Who starts a WikiFeet website to just compile images of fucking random people's feet for the consumption of fucking down bad 13-year-olds with a foot fetish? Like, what the fuck?
I think there's a statement that goes that fits this situation quite perfectly, and it's what zero pussy does to a motherfucker.
Oh, Christ. You know what? Going down the feet rabbit hole better than going down the incel rabbit hole. Oh, we can't say that word. Sorry, the thing. Nobody heard that.
I mean, it's a Venn diagram, but it's not like this. It's like the tiny parts are on the outside. My hands are not big enough to...
Like something like that. Like a little bit on either side, but most of that overlaps in the middle.
Yeah.
How many channel points for you to vape while holding the vape with your feet, Liam?
Well, I'd have to put on socks, but the issue is socks make it easier to pop out. So I'd have to have like those super, like, you know, like those grippy shoes.
The toe shoes.
The toe shoes. And then just like,
toe shoes
and then just like have
deeply upsetting.
Have it perfect for the
Wait, Brayden, you've never seen toe shoes?
No, I know. That's why I said they're deeply upsetting. The thought of them, the thought of looking at them makes my skin crawl.
I mean, they probably look better than my bare feet.
Yeah,
there are socks with individual toes too.
At
that point, you're just wearing gloves on your feet.
That is a glove for your foot.
Also,
yeah,
fuck mitts. Fuck mitts. Mitts are just garbage gloves.
Why would literally ruin the whole purpose of having hands?
Like,
which is to be able to use your individual fingers.
But then you could make the argument that mittens are just socks for your hands.
No, because the socks don't have a fucking big toe. Fucking.
No, he's got a point. He's got a point.
I would respect gloves more if they chose a fucking lane and it was just like this, and it was you just had
an
pause.
oven mitt.
Yeah.
If you were like a chimpanzee, let's say, and you used your feet to be dexterous.
Yes.
Putting a sock on would be like putting a mitten on.
No. Because you lose opposable thumbs.
Don't they have opposable toes?
No. What? I have temporary fucking soft to show. A mitt gives you an opposable thumb, okay?
I hope this is a clean sock for your sake, Liam.
It doesn't feel
came
like
off the floor, Brayden.
Oh.
And it's inside out. So I just the thin side's in my hand. But anyway, point being...
This is the most upsetting puppet show in history.
Where the fuck is my... Oh, you can see my hand through the fucking... Anyway, point being, where's the thumb? This isn't a mitt. It's just webbed fingers. It's like my parents were related. I got the webbed hand. So your statement is incorrect, sir.
It's a pretty good analogy.
If it was a good analogy, I wouldn't have a sock on my hand, Jacob.
Well, I mean, who's the real winner here? Me or you? Shut up, Liam. Got him. You got him.
Guys,
I got him.
Cool hand, Luke. We got sock hand, Liam.
You know what, guys? Anyone who wants to take over my position in the podcast, it's been a great 11 episodes, but I can't work with these monkeys.
Wow.
I was just saying monk, but then that just sounded like you worship Buddha.
Well, Liam, I would like to ask you about your chaos camping.
Here we go.
Pray
I'm excited
tell.
for this one. I'm excited for this one.
Oh yeah, once I went camping and I thought I was parked in I thought we reserved spot 13, but we got to the gate and they told us it was 12, so we just went to 12.
End of story.
It was a hectic 2 minutes.
For real though. Let's take you guys back. This should be somewhere around 2018.
Yeah.
You know, we're going on a
graduated.
camping trip. We had just graduated. It
Or
was
was
the
it
summer
the year
right after we
after
graduated.
Was it, or was it the first year out of
It might
uni?
have been our first.
It was the first year. It was the first year out of
Yeah.
uni.
Because I was gonna say I had gotten a lot closer with the person who initiated that hang up between then and there. But either way, a friend of ours, a mutual friend of mine and Liam's, invited us to go on a little camping trip, right? And we had a couple of other people invited. I think in total, there was 10 or 11 people who were.
Well, there was 6 or 7 camping.
Who showed up for the night,
and then there was another crew of 5 people Who pulled
Right,
up?
three or
in
yeah,
the
there was
truck.
like 4 or 5, yeah, who showed up later on just for a little bit, and there's a reason why they didn't stay for very long, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Like Liam said, though, we popped up and we were like, oh, it should be. We drove together. I drove Liam and I, and we got to the gate and they're like, oh, well, it says here it should be 12. You guys don't have any alcohol or cannabis on you, do you? Now, being the degenerates that Liam and I are, of course we've brought, a whole cooler full of alcohol.
So much alcohol.
I brought at least a 6-pack and a quart, I believe, of Crown.
I bought I bought a quart of something and then like Ronas.
Yeah. And then it was a lot of we had at least $150 of alcohol just in the back of our car.
Yeah, and
right?
Almost everyone brought that much alcohol.
Yeah, there was total probably by the time we got there and had started out like $600 worth of alcohol.
And we were also coming with someone who arrived separately, but was staying the night, who is the Weed Man. Jacob knows the Weed Man.
We know the Weed Man. The Weed Man comes a knocking. The good old Weed Man. So yeah, of course, the Weed Man's going to bring quite a bit of weed. So we're all excited. We're all down to have a fun camping trip where we smoke some weed, we have some brewskis, and we chill out, right? But it turns out that there was this new rule this year in Canada where you're not allowed to go camping up until Canada Day, which is July 1st for those who don't know, with alcohol or booze or drugs, right? And
I think that, to be fair, the drugs are always banned.
Mm-hmm. Cannabis, however, is fully legal, and that was the first year that it was actually legal for camping season, and that was why the rule was in place, was because they didn't want people drinking and smoking before families had a chance to get out and enjoy, right?
Even though we saw dads with beers the entire weekend.
So that's the other thing too. We get there and we see people out, with their kids walking around the campsites, and people have open beers like Coronas and stuff, and we're like, oh, okay, like, it seems like it's pretty chill here, right? No big deal. So we're younger though, and we don't want to be caught and not know what to do about it. So we're all pouring our drinks into red Solo cups, right? As you do, and when we go to smoke, we find a very secluded spot to go smoke. Again, as you do, we don't want to get into too much trouble.
You poured your alcohol into the most obvious alcohol cup.
Damn right.
You could have poured alcohol into a Gatorade bottle.
One of us. Chekhov's gun, Jacob. This comes back later in the story. Don't you worry.
Anyway, I just want to say we were being safe about it, so we poured our alcohol into party alcohol
bottle.
To be fair, we had gone shopping as a group before we headed out camping, and we didn't know there was an alcohol ban, so we're like, we need Solo cups, obviously. Yeah, and a Solo cup's a little more discreet than a bottle of beer.
Also, are you sure this ban rule was not just at the campsite you were at?
It was provincial.
It's provincial. It's like provincial.
We looked at it, yeah. We looked it up because we got there and we were fucking confused, right? Because the party leader who had initiated this and brought us here, because this has been her family camping spot for years, was like, oh, well, there's she didn't mention it at all, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Liam. I don't remember her ever mentioning it in the group chat though.
No, I think we were. Because I remember
we were shocked when we got there.
Like, oh shit, okay, this is.
And we were like, oh no, of course not. We're good boys. We of course know the rule, right? Everybody knows the rules. But we continued on our way. We'd smoked probably, I'd say, at least 2 or 3 joints at this point between the group of us. Actually, no, it was definitely more. That was like
we had done like 2 or 3 sessions before the incident, and been drinking all day.
And we were drinking quite heavily. So we're chilling, and then a couple of our other friends show up, and they're just there for a little bit. Mind you, we're like an hour or so. I think it was like an hour, 10-minute drive from our homes.
Yeah. It's past the airport. It's that one for anyone who knows the area.
Yeah, if you go past the airport, like the international airport we have here, it's like another 20, 30 minutes outside of that, right? It's a fair drive away. So
I was just say some of them were drinking too, like the reinforcements came to drink and come camping with us. They
showed up. They had their truck bed open, and they were having some brews on the road. And we're like, "Hey guys, look, sorry, they have like a weird rule in where we're not allowed to be drinking. So if you don't mind, just toss it in a Solo cup, right?" We're like, "Okay." And some people don't, and, whatever. They're not staying the night, so it's not a big deal. Anyway, we're like, "Oh fuck! Look how beautiful the sunset looks. Let's go enjoy the sunset down on the waterfront of this wonderful lake that we have here in front of us, right?"
It was such a beautiful sunset. It's on my Instagram.
Genuinely. genuinely one of the best sunsets I've ever seen in my life. It was like perfect, and the lake was so still that you could see it perfectly reflected in the lake. It was beautiful. One of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen, followed by some of the most immediate terror I've ever felt.
I'm getting anxiety right now.
So we're again, a group of like probably 10 or so of us are down at the waterfront. We're skipping stones, we're drinking brews, and I think we had another joint at the ready for for when we get back to it, right? And we're sitting there, we're drinking. And I've got my cup of Crown and whatever, and you had Crown Apple, right? I think I had regular Crown and you had Crown Apple.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had it with like mixed with like Coke, I think.
Yeah, and I think I was mixing with like Diet Coke or something that I had bought, and so. Anyway, we're sitting there, and our friend Liam here says...
Can I taste it from here?
Please do, Liam, please do. There's one part that I want to emphasize on, though, and I think you know from the times I've told this story the part that I do want to emphasize and say the line for. Or you can say it after, but we need to make sure we hold out the time period properly on that. So please take over, Liam.
So we're all drinking, partying at the beach. Not loud, not even like... We're not making a scene or anything. Like, we weren't being like rowdy,
no music, nothing.
drunk.
We're just chilling.
No, we're just having a good time, but there's like...
Yeah.
Probably 10 of us, maybe 11. So there's a group. And then the way the beach works is it's basically at the end of this road. And so the road, it goes down the hill and then comes all the way to us. And I looked over at the hill and I'm Crossfados, Barbados. And I'm like, a truck. A park ranger truck. And then
naturally, what do you say?
I sound the alarm. I'm like, park ranger, hide your alcohol. Park ranger, approach it. Park ranger, approach it. And everyone's like, oh, good call, good shit, good pickup. So everyone hides their alcohol.
We have people like running around, hiding shit behind rocks, like
the
especially ones
rocks.
who had open containers, right? Like,
yeah.
People are rushing to hide, and we all hid our stuff properly.
People are literally fucking hiding their shit and getting ready to just talk to this guy. And he's approached, and I'm like, oh, good shit. I'm like congratulating myself in a head. I'm like, God damn, Liam, good job. What would they would have got fucking busted if you weren't here. Good shit, boy. And the entire time I have my drink in my hand, all the way up. It never leaves my hand. And the park ranger comes, he's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And it's like, oh, just enjoying the view, the lake, skipping some stones. He's like, and then he goes to me, and he goes, well, first he goes to Mitch, he goes, what's in the water bottle there? And he goes, blueberry soda.
Blueberry soda?
And then he looks at me and he goes, and sir, what are you drinking? And I just...
Hold on.
So this is the timing. So he goes, what are you drinking? And I go, apple juice. Which is the worst part is it was Coke and Crown, so it didn't even look like apple juice.
Nothing like apple juice.
But
he was tall enough to see into that cup and was standing on a slight hill above you.
And it was
and
a red
cup was fairly full.
And then I was just like, oh, fucking goddamn it, Liam. And then he's like, so you guys are drinking then? Well, he's like, apple juice, huh? I'm like, yep, apple juice.
You know it.
You know it. And then he's like, so you guys staying here? And the person who had arranged this trip was like, oh, we can get out of this. No, we aren't staying here. He's like, okay, so you guys are going to leave then. I'll escort you out. And then we're like, okay, we got to be honest. We are staying here. This is our campsite. And so he agrees to meet us at our campsite, and we just have this march up this hill.
Most depressing, the energy of the whole group of people walking back up this hill, because it's like a fair hike. It's only like maybe 5 minutes away, but it's a fair hike back up this little trail that they have that kind of wraps up and down the site. And everybody was just like we were so dejected.
Dude,
we
it was like anxiety and like the vibe was dead, and we didn't know what awaited us at the top of the hill. And we get there, and he's trying to take us. Well, he's like, you guys gotta leave, okay? Pack up your shit and get out. And we're like, we're all fucking wasted, bro. We're can't
so
drive.
Drunk, we can't drive home.
And he's like, well, call your parents to pick you up. And we're like, they live like 2 hours away.
We're an hour and a half away from where we live. Nobody's
it's like
coming to get us.
10:30 p.m. We don't have an option. Can we just stay here? Like, can we just fucking stay here, bro?
And he was like, but you forgot to tell before we were begging. He was like, okay, well, if you guys are trying to stay, pour all your alcohol out then. And again, mind you, we had like $600 total alcohol with us when we arrived, right? And mind you, too, this whole time during this very nerve-wracking experience, we're all stoned to the fucking domes to like times 10 because we've been smoking so much and drinking. We're cross-faded as hell. And he's like, well, you guys are gonna have to pour your alcohol out then. We're like, fuck. Like, none of us knew what to do either. I mean, realistically, we probably could have just been like, nope, we drank it all already. And you're not searching our cars. You know what I mean? You're not looking at any of our stuff. We refuse to search. We've drank it all. Like, you're done. Sorry about hitting the mic there. I'm getting a little too expressive. But, like, we were like, no, like, we're you know, like, we should have done that realistically. We should have been like, no, go fuck yourself. Like, we're staying here for the night. We're too drunk to go. And we're already done our alcohol.
Yeah.
See you later. But we were all, like, 18, 19. And didn't really have any better idea of what to do. So we listened to him. We take all of our alcohol out. We pour every single bit of it out, and I'm talking like full quarts that are left over. I'm talking like untouched 6 packs.
We probably killed a tree with that jungle juice.
Oh yeah. It was rough. It was rough. And then so we finished, getting rid of all of this money that we all spent on this shit. And he's like, all right, well, now that that's done, you guys got to get the fuck out of here. We're like, what the fuck, man? Like, are you fucking serious? Like, we just poured out over like $300 of alcohol that we had left over for you, and you still want us to leave while we're drunk. I'm like, do you realize how bad that makes you look when you're trying to tell a bunch of 18-year-olds to go drunk drive themselves back home right now? An hour and a half home.
We had zero complaints against this. We weren't blasting music. We were being like quite respectful and conservative. We weren't yelling. Like, we were just vibing and got caught with our pants down.
We had like people with their kids and stuff coming up to us and like, with their dogs and stuff, and people were saying hi. Like, nobody had a problem with us. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't being like too drunk. We weren't being abrasive to anybody. We were just being very chill, as we kind of always are. That's usually how that kind of group of people that we were with keeps things most of the time, right?
Yeah. And then we kept fucking like trying to talk him down, and eventually he's like, fine. And he grabs all of the license plates. He grabs my license and 2 of the other people's licenses who got caught with the open carry.
Who, by the way, were not staying the night.
Yeah. No, they were.
Oh, I thought they took the plate of one of the other ones there.
Oh yeah, they took those plates, but the licenses were me.
Oh, sorry, the licenses. Yes. I thought you meant the plates. My bad.
Yeah. And then he basically said, okay, here's the deal. If you get 1 complaint, I'm charging the 3 of you with open carry, which is this like over $1,000 fine. And I'm like, I really don't want to be charged with an open carry. And so you guys just shut up for the rest of the night and leave in the morning. And then he fucking rode off, that fucking guy.
And I remember there was like a specific air around us all where we're like, fuck this dude. Like, I get that he's trying to do his job, but like, fuck this dude. Like, so many people were out drinking, like open carrying, not a fuck given, because they're chilling with their family, and they're also old enough to be like, no, go fuck yourself. If like a guy came up and was like, pour your alcohol out. But yeah, we just kind of listened to it, and then we all sat there. By the time he left, because he held us up from sunset, which was around 9:15 by the time the sun was down, and he brought us back up to like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it was not a short conversation. And
no.
It didn't help that we started off the dialogue with deceitfulness.
A lie, an immediate lie, yeah. That was probably the worst part, and I was pretty upset that like the person who we will not name, but they were like, oh, well, no, we're not staying here. And I understand why she did. Like I said, it's her family's kind of campground they've been going to forever. You don't really want to get banned from that. But yeah, you probably should have just told the truth about that. And it probably didn't put us on the right foot with that guy.
He did calm down, like, near the end, like the last half hour or so, when he saw we were fully cooperated and just trying to move past it. But for the first, majority of it, he was just a douche about it and was like, fuck you kids. And it was just depressing after that, because the owner was worried about losing her sight, and then we dumped all that alcohol, and now we didn't
smoke anymore or anything either.
Yeah, now we're coming down off the high of the booze, and we're just like, do you guys want to play like Uno or something?
Everybody was so low energy, it was so depressing.
And then we just like kind of went to bed, woke up in the morning, and was like, what a night, and just got the fuck out of there. And we haven't gone camping since.
Movie.
My life is like a movie.
I do want to go camping with the boys this summer though, because that sounds. Like
I would love to.
I've been craving to see the stars. Just fuck like.
Maybe maybe camp out in the woods, not a fucking campground. I mean, I haven't camped in a campground.
There's a good spot that our weed man, our official weed man, has kind of set up out in the middle of nowhere, with like a teepee. That's pretty decent.
Dope.
But,
oh, is that where you went when you were supposed to help me move?
Yes, that's exactly where I was that day when I had my schedules completely fucked up. Yes.
That was funny. I'm like, okay, pick it up Brayden now, and Jacob's like, okay, and I'm outside Brayden's house, and I call him.
There's no car.
There's no car. I'm like, huh? But I didn't pick up on it until he's like, what? Or he sent me a text like, what? And I'm like, you ready? To
I immediately called him because I'm like, oh fuck.
I'm like, I'm outside, and he goes, what? And then I looked, and his car's not there. I'm like, oh. But
I called him and I was like, oh, fuck. I thought it was Sunday.
we got your boy Snozmondler to fill in and
shout out.
Went mostly without a hitch.
You missed out on Meza, Brayden. I bought the boys Meza.
Damn.
Yeah.
I honestly, no, I do feel pretty terrible about that. I'm not gonna lie.
As you
really
should.
Wish I would've
you
double-checked
should. You
myself.
really,
I
you
probably
really let
should.
down like the entire.
I said I'd be there,
podcast.
and then I was not there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty.
Oh,
funny.
I figure I was immensely shit on for the rest of that day, which is very fair.
Only a little bit, not too.
Yeah,
much.
not too bad.
We moved past.
And then we moved, Jake.
We
moved past it, and then we moved
past it, and yes, more move.
But yeah, it was.
But yeah.
Shout out camping, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That was a hell of a time.
I'm glad I missed that trip. Honestly, I have no regret.
Yeah. Honestly.
Hindsight though, I would take that trip again over fucking all this COVID bullshit where we've hung out with the lads like twice in a year and a half.
Yeah. And when you do, you have to be like, oh well, we can't get too big of a group together. No going to a party or like downtown or even just out camping with a fairly big group. Not possible. Yeah.
But this summer.
This summer's gonna go crazy. But like at the same time, we got a decent story out of it. We lost a lot of money in that booze though, which is unfortunate. But overall, I'd do it again. It was funny immediately after it was over. But while it was happening, I was like almost having a panic attack.
Yeah, that was fucking like when you're stoned and fucking drunk, not drunk but buzzed, and you're walking up a hill to an uncertain outcome. You're like, And
I was dead ass like certain he was gonna make us drive home.
Yeah, which was like none of us were in any condition to really be driving.
You can't drive home. You could literally call the cops on this guy and be like, look, we're getting kicked out of a campground and he's forcing us to drunk drive. And they'd be like, okay, no, you're gonna stay there. And I mean, he's a fucking park ranger. What's he gonna do if the cops tell you to stay there?
Yeah, like even when he threatened us with the ticket, he's like, yeah, if you guys don't behave, I'll send your licenses off to the police officer guy I know, and he's gonna give you a ticket.
If he made me drive out of the park, I would like fucking crash into like everything that I could.
I would run over a family and be like, enjoy this negligence charge, asshole.
Just make sure to cause a fucking mess. Like if there's any small street signs or anything, just run that shit over.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. I'm drunk. I told you.
Yeah, I mean, I was debating because I can pretty much puke on command pretty easily. And so I was like, man, if this guy's just going to kick us out regardless, I could just fucking blow chunks on him. That'd be fucking hilarious. But yeah, it was a real bummer that summer.
That was a trip.
Good one, Lee.
Is that how we want to end the podcast, Hayden?
That's a gross superpower, damn right. It's impressive. There have been times where Liam will like literally be like drinking a lot or whatever and smoking, and then like he'll be doing a freestyle rap for some reason, and there was one time in particular that I'm talking about here, and he was freestyle rapping, And he goes, he rhymed his words into "I'm going to fucking puke." He proceeds to go fucking puke, and then he came out still rhyming with the puke sound.
Dude, that was hilarious. That was fucking. I'm like, and I'm about to puke, and then you just hear, ugh, ugh.
Like, oh, it was
like
violent.
it was a violent one, and then I come back and we back with the freestyle.
He walks back out of the bathroom freestyling still. It was incredible.
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I've mastered the Puke
literally
Rally ever since Emily's party.
Oh boy, that was something. That was something.
God damn. But yeah, no, it's fucking great stories today. Also, before we head off, I did start watching some anime.
Ooh.
I'm a chunt through the first season of Attack on Titan. It's pretty nifty.
Not bad, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's interesting. I've noticed with this, maybe I don't know if it's an anime thing or a Attack on Titan thing, where everything's like, it's very refined to like, this is this character, this is that character, this is that. Like, there's no ambiguity, and there's no like dilly dallying. Like, it's just like constant story progression and shit. But it's a pretty interesting show.
They have to pay people to produce those scenes. You know, they're all
Right.
drawn, so they're not gonna fuck around. I mean, that's the thing. Like with anime, most of it is modeled around the manga. So you know, if that's just somebody drawing those sketches out, then sure, they can. There's more backstory, and I think that's why people like manga. But anime is like, you know, pretty much
Balls to the wall.
runs through the story.
One thing I don't like is how it feels like most of the Titans were modeled after me. Like, it's like you won't believe, like there's just so many Titans that just have fucking big chunduses with like long fucking tangly brown hair, and like I can identify with like 70% of them, and they always have this like real stupid look on their face, especially the one in the opening credits. I don't know if you know the one I'm talking about, Jade. But there's one where they like swing around and kill him, and I'm like, bruh, that's me as a Titan.
It gets better, I will tell you. Like, if you like it now, I know when I watched it, I watched like seasons 1 and 2, and then I kind of stopped watching and tried to come back and forgot where I was. So my experience with Attack on Titan was a little different than if I were to stay consistent. But the last season is pretty fucking good if you stick with it.
I fucking hate that Armin character so goddamn much. What a fucking pussy. Like, what a goddamn degenerate of a character. Like, this one guy, the main character, saw his mom get chomped in half by a giant. That's a reason to cry. This fucking Armin fucker just like, oh, my grandpa died off screen. And then it's like, fucking... Armin, we need your help for once. Oh, I'm just gonna shut down and cry again. What a useless fucking character.
Oh my god, that does look like Liam.
Let's see, is this the character? That's just what I haven't seen that Titan before, but that's like all the Titans are some mutation of like that, and they all fucking like oh.
It looks like short-haired Liam back in high school when Liam
Dude,
I think
the short look.
I think that Titan's from this season, if I'm not mistaken. This season or last season. So, yes. There's
Where
more
can
to
I
look forward.
Find Attack on Titan again, because I still have not checked.
Crunchyroll would be your best bet.
Crunchyroll.
But
looks like Liam's got the OG on here. Oh,
that's one of them.
Result notice.
it depends how you acquire your things. Crunchyroll, you can get like a free 1-week trial of Crunchyroll Premium, I think, and then you can watch just about every anime there is. But there's also another studio or website, I guess, Funimation, and they control like the other half of the anime world, basically. Attack on Titan is on Crunchyroll, but there's some anime that is on another subscription-based website, so it's like,
Yeah.
But yes, anime is good. Attack on Titan is definitely not the best one, but it's quite good.
Yeah, I've been recommended a lot of animes, so I'll check a good chunk of them out. I'm not dedicated yet into anime, whether or not I'll keep watching all of them.
Well, and some anime are good, some anime are bad. There's gonna be ones you won't like, but there's a lot of really good ones that as somebody who consumes content, whether or not it's TV or YouTube, I think there's something to be appreciated about anime.
Fellas
Like
just
some of-
gave me an idea.
Some of
More
it's just so good.
content.
Like anime reviews.
'Cause
It
I'm-
can be scamboli.
once lockdown's over here, I'm thinking of doing getting some certain people together for like movie reactions and shit. Because the YouTube algorithm's been pushing the fuck out of that lately. And there's a couple of the boys who have not seen certain stuff yet, and I'm thinking of bringing them in for some things. But also, I could do just some anime reactions on my own.
Anime. I mean, there's some good stuff. I don't know, man. I'm not pushing anything, but I'm suggesting.
I liked Akira. Akira was good. That's the only real like exposure to an anime film or TV show.
I've actually never seen Akira, but I know it is
Coconut malt.
very, very
To be
well.
fair, Hayden, I forgot what coconut mauling is, but that was something that was definitely said in a certain group chat that Liam is also a part of, and Jacob.
You just got coconut mauled. Send
Like, I
this
just
to all your
completely
friends to
forgot that
totally
existed.
coconut maul them.
I forgot the coconut mauling existed, but I was exposed to it. That one just didn't stick in my mind because that was a 2020 meme, and not much of that year stuck in my mind.
Yeah. But, yeah, shout out. Do you guys want to call her there, or you got anything else for tonight?
I'm holding in a massive pee right now, but if you guys have something, I can return in a couple.
I think that's all I got, honestly. It was good little set.